I met with a nursing student today and I posted that on social media. So most of you guys that follow me on my Facebook page, Nurse Lada, you know that I met with a student. This isn't the first time that I've met with a student. I met with a student some months ago that had just recently graduated, and she was really nervous about taking the boards exam, the certification exam, and we talked through a lot of things. I brought the materials that I used to study, and I met with her for about 2 hours. And I also have a few people that I've met on social media that have called me. So it's not the first time that I've met with a student. And I wanted to share what we talked about. So when you see me looking down, I'm looking at my lovely little iPhone. So I wrote down the things we talked about, and it wasn't clinical based things. It wasn't about test taking or anything like that. It was more just some doubts about, should I continue this program? Is it worth it? So there were three main questions, and I talk a lot. So these three questions, we met for about an hour, and I'm just going to give you guys the highlights of our discussion. That way, if any of you all have questions like these, then I feel like this video will be really helpful for you, for nurse practitioner students. So the first question she asked was, I'm taking out a lot of student loans and I feel really nervous about it. What do you think? All I can think about is I'm getting in debt. I don't really know what's going to happen when I graduate. So what I said to her and what I'm going to say to you guys, I have another video about the $50,000 loan repayment program, which is amazing. Any day now, I will be getting $50,000 into my personal checking account, and I'm going to use that, of course, to put on my student loans. But it's an awesome way to get your loans paid for, and then you don't have that stress and you're not worried about it where you can't study and you can't really focus because all you can think is this the right choice? Oh my goodness, I'm going to be in debt after this program. Well, if you get the $50,000 loan repayment, then you basically went to school for free. So, I mean, that's amazing. And like I mentioned in the other video, it's tax-free. So there are no taxes. And in addition to that, you can use the $50,000 on undergrad loans as well. So after 2 years of service, and you still get your salary, which is not lower because you're getting this loan. You still get an amazing salary. So, well, at least the place where I work, my salary is great. So in addition to the $50,000, you get a regular salary, a good salary, a great salary. So, and then I was saying in my other video that you can extend it if you want to and get another $20,000 for one more year. That's 70, and then so on. So you can do another year. You can do another year. So it's, if you do it this way and you do plan on working for a federally qualified health center, then your worries and your fears kind of go down. And yes, it is based on the needs of the area you're in and what the HPSA score is for the facility that you choose. I live in the DC area, and the company I work for, almost everyone that works there, no one that I know of has gotten denied. We have a HPSA score of 18 or something like that. I can't really remember, but yeah, it's just not. As soon as I applied, as soon as they started accepting people, I was accepted. So look into it, guys. This is what we talked about because she lives in this area. We talked about her possibly applying to work at the place where I work and then doing the loan repayment, which is going to take a weight off of you if you just have a plan. And I told her that when I was in school, I told myself, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to do well in this program. And then I made a plan. I'm going to work for a federally qualified health center. I'm going to get the 50,000, and I'm not going to work 5 days a week. I'm only going to work like 3 days a week, 3.5, 4 max. I'm not going to do 5. So I told you guys in previous videos that I made a plan and I stuck to it. And at this point, I'm doing everything I said I was going to do. It's your life and you make things work for you. So just make a plan and stick to it. And then I'm pretty sure if you follow through and you look for what you want, you'll find that. So moving on. The next question she asked, am I making the right choice? Like, is it worth it? Is it worth it to go to NP school? She was hearing things as far as when you go to NP school, you don't make that much more money than you will as a registered nurse, as a bedside nurse, because we're registered nurses. As a bedside nurse, you won't make much more money. Well, my experience, which everything I told her was my experience, and everybody has different experiences, so I can really only speak from what I've experienced. And as soon as I started practicing as a nurse practitioner, my salary increased almost $40,000. So I don't know people make different salaries. People have different experiences. So I'm not knocking anyone's experience or saying that they make less. It just depends on who you work for. It depends on what you're doing after graduation. So yeah, if you teach, maybe I'm pretty sure you make a lot less. But for me, working at a federally qualified health center in DC, I make $40,000 more than I did as a bedside nurse working on a spinal cord injury rehab unit. In addition to that, when you add on the 50,000 that I'm going to get any day now, yeah, that is a crazy salary because that's tax-free money. So that's definitely added to my income, because if I didn't get the 50,000 repayment, then I would be paying that 50,000 to student loans out of my salary. So there's really no difference. So anyway, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but I make more money. It's worth it, but not only worth it financially, but I'm not working as hard physically. As a bedside nurse, I did spinal cord injury rehab, so we are lifting all day. We are toileting people all day. So that can just wear on your back, and it can wear down on you physically when you've been doing it for a long time. I've been a nurse for 16 years. So just if you're lifting a lot, physically, your body just gets tired after some time. And some people love it and they're going to do it for the rest of their career, and that's fine. It's all about what makes you happy. And for me, being a nurse practitioner is not only worth it because I got a pay increase, but because I get to help other people, because I get to work with the medically underserved. For me, it was most definitely worth it. And I'm pretty sure for all of you guys, I want to say that becoming a nurse practitioner is great. It's amazing. Yes, it's worth it. Don't stop going to school. It's not going to be easy. Nothing that is really worth having is easy. I cried a lot. I was under a lot of stress, and it was all worth it. When I look back, it was all worth it. So guys, go through what you have to go through, get it together, and press on. Continue on, because before you know it, you'll be done. And that brings me to another thing we talked about, which was the program is 2.5 years. Like, I'm not going to graduate until 2018. And in a nutshell, what I told her was this. So 2018, is, 2.5 years away. If you weren't in this program, then 2018 is going to come and you're still not going to be a nurse practitioner. So what's the difference? You might as well finish the program. So what if it's 2.5 years? Because the only way it would matter that this is 2.5 years is if you plan on doing something better than this for the 2.5 years. And when you get to 2018, you're above a nurse practitioner. You're doing something else that you love. But if not, then yeah, it's 2.5 years, but that time is going to pass anyway. So unless you're doing something better, why not do something you really want to do? And it's going to take 2.5 years to do it, but that 2.5 years is going to come and it's going to go any way it goes. And what counts is what you're doing in between there. So if you have something better planned, then yeah, gripe and fuss about this 2.5 years that you're kind of wasting doing the NP program. But if this is what you really want to do, then it doesn't matter if the program is 4 years long, because that 4 years is going to come anyway. So you might as well do something you love and just take your time and just enjoy the journey. The time is going to pass anyway. Before you know it, you're going to be so busy that you won't even realize it's been 2.5 years. And before you know it, you're going to be done. So I blinked and my 2.5 years was up because I did the program part-time, and it took 2.5 years, and before I knew it, it was over. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Next, last question, because I don't want this video to be really long. The last question was, did you work during the program? Yes, I did. I worked 312s through the whole program until the last two semesters. I can't talk. The last 2 semesters. So I went down to part-time the last 2 semesters because we were doing so many clinical hours that it was literally impossible for me to work full-time. There were students that were just really motivated and they worked full-time throughout the whole program. But for me, my entire week was spent. I didn't have any time to myself for the last 2 semesters of the program. I was either at school, at work on the weekends, or in clinical, or doing homework. So for 2 whole semesters, I was just chopped liver. I was so busy and I was so tired. So yeah, I mean, it just depends on you, how much you need to study, your family life, and anything is possible. So what I'm saying is that basically whatever you need to do, then just do that. But I started working weekends and the rest of the week was spent for school. So that's how it went for me. But yes, it's possible to work through the entire program. And those were the main things we talked about. I just basically encouraged her and I just pushed her and just told her how great being a nurse practitioner is and how much she is going to love it. And I told her, just talking to her for a few minutes, I could tell that she had the heart of a nurse practitioner. She was so sweet. I told her, you're going to be amazing. And I just have a gift of being able to read people and just get vibes from people after spending just a few minutes with them. And she had just a great heart. I could tell she was a sweetie. So yeah, I'm really excited for her. I really enjoyed the conversation I had with her. This was my act of intentional kindness. My husband and I, we look at a lot of motivational, inspirational things, and yeah, so anyway, that was my day. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video chit chat with Lada, and maybe we can do some little series, Ask Lada, and I answer a question from the students or new nurse practitioners or nurse practitioners, anybody. I answer questions through video. Obviously, I like doing video because I talk a lot, and when I have to write all of this stuff down, it's just too much. So the only other thing I'm going to mention is I get a lot of messages on Facebook and emails from people all over, and I do respond to them all, but I just want to let you guys know that sometimes it takes a week or two for me to respond because I get a lot of questions and I get a lot of instant messages. So people may think that they're the only one messaging me and, oh, you haven't written me back, but sometimes I'm 2 weeks behind and I'm trying to respond to everyone, and sometimes it can just be a lot because I'm on YouTube obviously as well, and when I get comments on my YouTube videos, I try my best to respond to those too. So I'm responding to a lot of people, but I promise you guys that I will respond to everyone. I try to make sure that happens, and I just don't want you guys to feel like, if you're looking at a message, if you sent me a message and it's been like a week, I just don't want you to think she's never going to respond, because I will. Just give me time, and that's it. So I will see you guys in the next video. I hope this was helpful. Leave questions and comments below, and that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoy this day. It was the first day of fall, so we can get ready for cute boots, cute coats, and hats. And yeah, that's gonna be fun. So that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.